Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Facebook Live. It's Saturday, the 19th of April, 2025. I'm Dylan Callan, and welcome to the Dylan Callan Show. This evening, we'll be bringing our guest Cieran McGarry in on the show, bringing you some great tunes, great fun and laughter, but most importantly, some great conversation. We're going to wait for a few viewers to join us this evening, and we do apologise for any technical issue we've had previously with these live streams. I do know it's a bit of a pain in the backside when things don't work, but we'll finally get there in the end. So, this evening is a hell of a whirlwind, not just for me, but for everyone involved in my life as well. We're going to wait just a few minutes to see if Cieran can come in again, and we do apologise, as I said, for the technical issues with this TikTok Live, not TikTok Live, Facebook Live. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all work. Now, if you guys can see me, I do appreciate it. I really do. If it doesn't work, we're going to try and organise another date for the show. So I do bear with us as well. Good evening, Cieran. Let's try for the final time. If it doesn't work, we'll jump over to Instagram. I think that's what the plan of action will be. Let me have a look and see if it works this time.
Hey, can you hear me this time?
Yeah, I can hear you this time, but I can't see you. But it doesn't matter. I'm in frame. It doesn't matter.
You're in frame. I think. Well, according to my camera, I'm in frame.
Yeah,
let's leave that one down to viewers.
Let me just put you up. So sorry about the technical issue there. We are going to try and edit it for you, so you can see both of us for the YouTube edit. This will be edited a hell of a lot to make sure that you. It might just be the odd clip here and there from the show. So yeah, thank you very much for all the comments. So let's get this show on the road. And hello, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Cieran, how are you this evening?
I am very good, thank you very much. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad. You know, a bit nervous, obviously with the technical issue, but you know, we just have to roll with it. See what I did there, Oasis, yeah. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, this, hasn't it? I think.
Well, it's been 6 months. 6 months in the making since you asked me to do the show.
I know, 6 months, and then obviously it was announced on Christmas Day of 2024.
Yeah.
Obviously that the show was coming back, and then from there it's just dragged and dragged, but now we're here.
I say it's dragged, but at the same time, it has been it's one of those ones where it's like time was dragging at the start, and then it started flying past, coming towards like the actual show day. Yeah,
it's been ages, but obviously you're here and you're doing well. What have you been up to recently? Have you been, you know, I know obviously you've been working hard on new music.
I've been working very, very hard on new music. There is multiple songs now. Well, I say multiple songs. I wrote 4 2 days ago. Literally, all on the same day. I've got about 12 very much ready to go at this precise moment in time. It's just a case of getting them all recorded and hopefully put out there for release.
And it must, I don't want to interrupt you there, but it must feel difficult and a bit frustrating when you've got the songs there, but you just need to record them and get them out. You know, you must be really, you know, tempted just to record them like on an iPhone or something and just get them out there for people to hear. But going on to that, you've struggled sometimes with obviously coming up with different music. How the hell do you cope? How do you manage to come up with the different lyrics?
I manage very so. I'll be honest and say that I don't. A lot of the time, I don't come up with the ideas like fully. Like if I'm sitting there and I'm listening to music or something, I'll sit there and listen to a certain artist and go, I like the way that sounds. Yeah. And then try and come up with not something different, but something along the same lines and go, like that's where I want my music to be. And a lot of the times it used to be a lot of different artists, like, but then more recently it's been 2-3 artists that I've kind of been kind of really basing my music on recently. It's more
Yeah.
like say
And,
two Scottish artists and one Irish artist that I've really been basing my music off of
and obviously,
recently.
talking about that Pacific artist, everyone will probably know him from TikTok and hanging out of his bedroom window during the COVID lockdown. If we don't know who we're on about the one and only Callum Bowie. You're a big fan of Callum. I know that for a fact, and so am I. How did you discover him through TikTok and singing these songs? Obviously, I know he's got an album out now, which can I just say is absolutely fantastic.
I will forever promote that album, and I think a lot of the people that listen to me on TikTok on a daily basis are probably sick of me promoting the Through the Window album. But honestly, I found him it must have been about 2020, so I've been following him for about 5 years now.
Sorry, go on.
In fact, I found him just before that. I found him just after he released the song Home.
Yeah.
And then I listened to the EP that he released initially, the Lonely Streets. He put it down to the single, but there was actually 3 songs on the album.
Yeah.
And I do love all of his music. His more recent music is very good. He's coming into his own voice. He's doing phenomenally well.
Yeah.
And I can't fault. I met him a couple of times as well. He's such a great guy as well.
Yeah. And obviously, it must come as a surprise to you when you're both Scottish. You're both doing well for yourself, but it must come as a shock when you see him in person. It must thinking, "Oh my God, I listen to your music, and then I'm seeing you in person." Maybe the dream one day is to headline a show for him.
Yeah, dream one day is to definitely have a show with Callum, or at least have a song with Callum.
Yeah.
And I will forever hold myself to that standard, because I feel like at some points I do right like him as well. And I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure that in his Discord channel there almost was a petition being created for me to support him in Newcastle after the gig was rescheduled.
Yeah.
But
and did that ever go to plan, or did it just fall through?
It just kind of fell through, I think. But at the same time, it was. I didn't know how to react at the point where it was like, oh yeah, we might actually just try and get. It wasn't him. It was like everyone else in the Discord was like, oh, why can't we just get this person to do it? It's like, why me?
Yeah. Obviously, that must have come as a shock to you, though, that people in his Discord were like, you need to be beside him, you need to be on stage performing your songs. If that opportunity did come about, would you think you would take it?
I would take it with 2 hands and run. I'm not going to lie. I would absolutely, I would take that opportunity with 2 hands and say thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I would happily take that chance on being next, not even next to him on stage, but performing before he headlined the gig.
And obviously, you've said there before that you've seen his concerts, and they must just be outstanding as well. I've seen recent TikToks of him doing his song, The Anthem, one of my favourites, and it must be just that upbeat energy from start to finish. Surely.
Yeah, well, there is a set few sad songs that he has. He didn't play any live, and didn't play Met Out. In fact, he played one in Glasgow, and it was Are You Coming Around Anymore?
Yeah.
And honestly, like, even with the sad songs being on the set list, it makes them like seem like they're not even like that sad in a way.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy going to see him. I've saw him 3 times now. Going to see him at Transmit as well. So that'll be the 4th time in July. I mean,
obviously when he first did Transmit, I think it was a shock to him. I think, obviously doing the introduce, I think it was the introducing stage he did, and he did an interview with the BBC, no fault of his own, but I think, you and Callum have got so many similarities. You're both Scottish, you want to get places. And I know that we've spoken in the past, obviously, you want to do like these big headline festivals like your Glastonbury's, your your transmits. But what festival would you want to do, like as your first go-to? I know obviously transmits the local one, but if there was any festivals you wanted to do, what one would you want to do if the opportunity came?
Honestly, as my like for the first festival that I want to do, I want to do Belladrum.
Yeah.
Belladrum Festival is a really good place to get your music just out there. It's a good place to be heard. But then the eventual dream is maybe not headlining, because I don't think I'll be at the level of headlining a show or headlining a festival. But even just playing Transmit, Glastonbury, Reading, Leeds, maybe. Definitely want to do Neighbourhood Weekender at some point. Neighbourhood Weekender in the crowd is great from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I could just imagine what it would be like on the stage.
Yeah. And obviously talking of music, you as you said there at the start there, you've got your own music coming out. Are we expecting an album, or are we expecting just singles dropping and then the album at the end?
We're expecting. It's hard to tell.
No pressure here. No pressure for you.
Because as much as I go, yeah, I want the album to drop, and I have everything sorted for it.
Yeah.
And I have all the songs for the album completely done. Still at this point, do not know whether I'm gonna release 3 off that first wee section and go, they can be singles, and then bam, there's your album, or whether I just drop the album and go, there you go, it's all sorted for you. Have 8 songs.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think if people are watching this, if people are watching this and you may have seen Kieran on TikTok, or please make sure when the album does drop, you make sure you have a listen, because I'll certainly be listening to it, because I think it will be, as you said there, in the style of Callum and other singers. Going back on that, I know that you were also a fan of Mr. Capaldi. If anyone doesn't know who we're on about, Lewis Capaldi, obviously one of his rememberable performances, I think it was at Glastonbury, when the fans were helping him out due to his diagnosis there.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll ever make a return to music, or do you think this is Lewis Capaldi's day, just to, retire, sit back, relax, and watch everyone succeed?
See, there's a lot going off speculations and everything. I don't know whether to make the assumption, yeah, he's coming back, or no, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
But with the fact that he's now, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, where he released his BBC Live Lounge cover on all streaming platforms. I don't know if that's an indication whether he is coming back or whether he is saying, but I think it's more an indication that he's coming back, because I would have not expected, but I would have thought there would have been a post to say, yeah, listen, I'm not coming back. And he just randomly dropped music on a random Friday in March. But
that's Lewis for you. I think when he dropped his, is it Heavenly, the Heavenly album, I can't mind the full name of the album, but that was a good album.
Broken by Desire to be Heavenly Sent.
Yeah, that one there. He dropped that album out the blue, I think.
He didn't,
there was different adverts. There was different adverts out there, but I think it just came out the blue. And I think what he might do, obviously you said that he's released his live lounge thing from the BBC. I've got a funny feeling that Lewis might just drop this album that he might have had in his archive since God knows when. We don't know what he's been up to. But I think he might just drop an album in the next, not in the next couple of weeks, but I think nearer the end of the year. I think there might be a surprise for any Lewis Capaldi fans out there. That's just my speculation. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I think it might.
I would hope that he's going to drop an album, but I think the way that artists work now is that, and saying this because I am one myself now, is you've got to give people, not like you've got to give people notice, but it's more like, if you're a bigger artist, you will give people the common decency, going, this song's coming out, say I was to release something June 23rd, and you would put up the pre-save link now and go, well, there's a pre-save link there, but I'm not actually bringing the song, I'm not telling you when it's coming out. It's
Yeah.
to really build up the hype. The
Yeah.
only time you do an actual date announcement is going, listen, I've got an album coming out. Bang, there you go. That's the date the album's coming out. I'm not telling you if there's going to be any singles or not coming out. But
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you see 2 or 3 singles getting dropped off an album, like, before it comes out.
Yeah. And obviously you'll obviously growing up with music, and you must have grown up with like the not Scottish music in a sense, but you grew up with the artists, that you liked, let's say it that way. And when was there a point in your life where you said, like, to your mum or dad or whoever, like, I'm going to be a music artist when I'm older? Did you always have that, let's say, vision that you wanted to hit headline gigs, become a singer-songwriter, or was it a completely different avenue from where you are now?
I'll be completely honest and say no. Because I always told my family, and I'm pretty sure my mum is watching right now, I always told my mum from a very young age that I wanted to be a football player, and I always wanted to be a football player.
Yeah.
And then I genuinely speaking, I didn't pick up a guitar until I was about, I didn't start properly playing until I was about 14, 15.
Yeah.
Because I took music in school. I was originally a bassist in a couple of bands in school.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know what? I do like the bass. I still have a bass at home. I gave it to my little brother, and I still play it sometimes when I am home.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, I then picked up a guitar when I was, genuinely think, 15 I would have been when I started playing. Because
Yeah.
the only reason I actually started playing was because that I had to take an exam on playing guitar as well as playing bass. So while I was doing that, and at this point I couldn't sing. I've never, and I'll hold my hands up and say I've never actually taken lessons either.
Yeah.
But I started being a musician, proper musician, around about 2020. So it would have been lockdown that I started, or just before lockdown, that I properly started going, oh yeah, I want to be a musician.
Yeah.
And then it didn't take off until last year.
Yeah.
Last year it would have been. Because if we're technically speaking, this time last year I had just under 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
And
obviously, going back to your football side, you're going to probably know what question I'm about to ask you here. But if you did go down the avenue of a professional footballer, and I think I know the answer to this question, but what football team would you want to play for?
Celtic, without a doubt in my mind, it would have always been Celtic.
Yeah.
If we're talking,
obviously, if you obviously talking of Celtic, we're doing very well here in Scotland, in the SPFL Premiership. Today's game with Aberdeen and Hearts, that was one hell of a ride. I think Aberdeen deserved to win, but let's not go there. For now, we've got a big game tomorrow against St Johnstone. It's time to tell. It will be probably Aberdeen v Celtic in the final, but anything could happen tomorrow. Talking about Celtic, who obviously there's been so many players that have come through Celtic. If you were one of them, who would you look up to? Like, obviously you had your Scott Brown era, your Callan McGregor currently, but if you were in the squad with him today, who would you look up to?
In a squad with him today,
Yeah, so if you were in a squad with Celtic Football Club as we speak today, who would you learn from? Like, obviously there is the basics. You've got your captain Callum, but I think he would be really good in the team today.
I think, genuinely speaking, there's three players.
Yeah.
And the 3 players that I would, in fact, no, one of those players is younger than me. Actually, no, I can't. I would, but I would still learn quite a bit from him. One being for the position I play, or positions, like 2 two or three positions that I can play. The 3 players would be Adam Eder.
Yeah. Why not?
He's actually a very good striker on his day when he fancies being a striker. Nicholas Gerrit-Kuhn and Felipe Jota would be the 3 main players that I would want to take out of that.
Yeah. You know, and obviously we've had shock departures in our time at Celtic Football Club. I'm saying like we've played for Celtic, you know what I mean. It's been scary seeing them, lose games and then win games. Obviously, I wouldn't say champions of Scotland just so I defend another team in Glasgow, but nevertheless. But I think Adam talking there, because from one of the comments there, Adam, I think Adam is a great player for Celtic, always will be. I think he's got that. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but I think to the current day, we lost a good player in Kyogo when he was there at Celtic. I think he was a brilliant player, scoring, probably winning most games from his goal scoring. If you had to play any team in the world, Celtic had to play any team in the world, who would it be?
Oh, that's a question.
So Celtic could play anybody, any football team in the world from all across the world. Both.
2009-10 Barcelona. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Can I ask why?
Just to see how bad Celtic would be against them, but just because 2009, between 2009 and 2012, that Barcelona team is probably the greatest football team I've ever watched. Genuinely. But the best team I've seen live at Celtic Park is probably 2017-18 PSG. Just a couple of seasons before they signed Messi, they just signed Mbappe, they'd signed Neymar, and them absolutely running riot and hammering us 5-0 at home was beyond a doubt the best team I've watched at Celtic Park. Bayern Munich don't even come anywhere close to them.
Yeah. And obviously we have to mention your rival English team. Now, obviously this live is no swearing, but your thoughts on, a team that, I've followed for a long time. Well, not a long time, just recently. But Man City, come on, we need to talk about them. Obviously, your hatred for Man City has to come clean somehow.
Now, do you really expect me to speak about this club without swearing?
I hope so. But talking about Man City, I know Celtic played them, if I remember correctly.
Celtic played them in pre-season, beat them 4-3.
Do you think Celtic should have won that?
Celtic did win it 4-3.
Yeah, but should they have won it though? Did you expect them to win it?
Yes, I did. The last 2 times Celtic have played Man City, they've drew twice.
Yeah.
The 2 times that was in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that it was Man City wearing the orange and purple kit at Celtic Park where we drew 3 each. Moussa Dembele scored an overhead kick. Kieran Tierney scored, and I think it was Tom Rogic scored the other one.
Yeah.
And then the game at the Etihad where Phil Foden scored in the 18th minute, then Moussa Dembele went and scored in the 68th minute to draw 1 each, and we hit the crossbar in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
I have
obviously
been to see Man City play, but I have realised they are a bunch of
not a good team to support. I think that's what Kieran's trying to say without swearing.
115 financial fair play charges for a reason. They spend too much money.
Right, okay. Obviously let's go back to the music side for a little while. Obviously you've got, as you said there, you've got songs already written. The singles, I don't want to give anything away, but there is one that you've given me here today that you're going to play for us just in a minute there. Give us a bit of a background to the Silent Suffering song. What was that personal to you, or was that just you're seeing people grow up and that you've lost friends, or how did that come about?
Both.
Yeah.
Well, like, it was kind of between growing up, like, as this day and age is like, oh, men can't talk about things, like they can't talk about their mental health or anything like that. I kind of, I fell into that stigma really, and still do fall into that stigma now, where I feel like I can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
So then I wrote that. I was in a quite dark place at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the only thing that is actually keeping me going, it really is music at this precise moment in time.
Yeah.
So then I came up with the idea to write a song about it, and then and as much as I say, oh yeah, like the songs are sometimes hard to write, that song came almost instantly. It was 15, I think within 15, 20 minutes I had the song done.
Yeah.
Like,
and obviously that must have had an impact on you writing it, knowing that it was about you and obviously your friends growing up. But was that also an impact maybe to recent pandemic events? I know that obviously everyone struggled in their own way during that time, me included, and I think everyone else. But you mentioned there your mental health. Obviously, mental health, men's mental health isn't spoken about enough. And I think, people don't realise the real stigma of it now in this day and age. And obviously you've said there, growing up and you're still in that mental health phase, obviously it's difficult sometimes to speak out, and I get that. I know we've spoken previously in private conversations regarding mental health. Do you feel like people in authority should do more regarding mental health, if that be like the government or something? Because I personally think that they should.
I mean, to be honest, I think it's not the fact that, so the way that I'm now seeing it, or like starting to see it, as I'm trying to get away from everything that I feel like, I do understand that everybody has their own escapes in a way.
Yeah.
And if you can't get to those escapes, then it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
So mine being football and music. So if I'm out the house and I don't have my AirPods, it is hell.
Yeah.
But or if I'm not actually in a social situation, like social situations in a way, it's like is weird, because the more I'm on my own, the more I have the chance to be in my own head.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing these comments and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But
no, I'm trying not to be professional. I'm trying to be professional here and trying to zoom out myself.
But it's like, at the same time, you have like, the more you're on your own, the more you can get into your own head, the more that you sit there and you're like, what am I doing that's right? What am I doing that's wrong? Or vice versa.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're just sitting and you just constantly have your brain going in loops, and it's horrible. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible.
And sorry to interrupt you there, but if anyone in here is suffering from any mental health, there will be helplines available to you 24/7 when this goes out onto YouTube and shorts, like YouTube shorts and Instagram reels. There will be links to mental health services available to you here in the UK and the world. For anyone wanting to watch this, this will be uploaded to YouTube after, so please make sure you keep an eye out on that and subscribe to my YouTube channel for further details. But now, I think it's time to hear this song. I think, it's, you don't have to play the full version, you can play a snippet, and I agree with your mum there. I was about to call her my mum there, sorry about that. But no, I definitely agree with your mum there. There is not enough resources available to support everybody. And I think working with people with mental health must be difficult. It must be a challenge, and I'm not saying it will be easy for everyone. As you said there, everyone's got their own escapes. How did you cope during lockdown then? Did you cope just like anyone else and just drag yourself away and then write music, or did you like set your days out? Obviously you had to follow rules and everything, don't you? don't say that you broke them or anything, because you probably get like chopped off or something.
This is how I got through lockdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be fair, that's how I still get through life.
It's just writing music.
I see. Lockdown started when I decided that I wanted to become a musician.
Yeah.
So I was more a cover artist at that point, and then the ban lifted from being able to not go out, and then I only really started making proper songs. Really, I say I started making songs in like 2021, but I now look back on them and I go, why were they horrible?
Yeah.
Like, why are they like this? And I wish I could have. And I'm now in the final stages of rewriting the songs that I had originally.
Yeah.
But now, like, the more that I've listened to music, the more that I have came into, one, my own voice, and two, that I'm coming into like learning from other artists and what they're playing.
Yeah.
It's more like I can fixate myself on improving my music.
Yeah.
And that's the way I want to be. I don't want to be stealing other people's songs in a sense, where it's like, oh yeah, it can sound like another song as long as it doesn't have the same lyrics as another song, because then it's just a cover or an elaboration of a different song.
And obviously, I know we've spoken before, obviously any musician deals with different things differently, from like the writing aspect or finding the idea. But I think with you, these songs that we've written down here, I think have come from, maybe, I wouldn't say past trauma, but I would say like past like life events, and then you've tried to like process it and you're still processing it. And obviously you mentioned your silent suffering, you felt like you were suffering in silence. Does that still have effect on you today, or have you come out and realised, well, this song's about me, but I've now changed in a way this song could relate to anybody? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I've changed part of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Slightly. So part of it is aimed at me.
Yeah.
And part of it resonates with anyone else that feels that way.
Yeah.
So the first verse of the song really is more about me and what I feel like is going on. But people will resonate with that because it's not like it's saying it's me. I'm not mentioning my name or anything like that. So like when it says my head, it's like people can listen to it and go, I think this actually works for me as well.
Yeah.
Because
obviously, sorry?
I was going to say, because I've also noticed within, I don't know if anyone else does this or anything like that, but I've noticed, like, depending on what mood I'm in, I'll either listen to music and just vibe. If I'm in a good mood, or I'm just like listening to music when I'm like bored or anything like that, I will sit there and I'll be like, this is a really good song, I like this, and I'm sitting there like bobbing my head along to it, I'm singing, I'm fucking doing whatever in it, doing whatever else. And then
I think that goes for everyone though. I think obviously I've got different artists that I listen to, obviously one of them being Callum, like we mentioned at the start of the show. But I think some of these artists nowadays are more open, like celebrities, like, for example, I can't think of anybody, but let's take Ollie Murs, for example. I know that he had, I know he recently opened up about his mental health. I obviously know, obviously the One Direction boys, obviously losing Liam at the start of last year was just, sorry, at the end of last year, sorry, should I say, was just a bit of a shock to the world, I think. You know, I didn't believe it to start off with, but obviously it was real, and, you know, God rest him. But I think these different artists have different similarities. You know, we're all linked in some way. But obviously the silent suffering, I totally get. You know, you've said that it can relate to not just you, but anybody. And obviously this I hope is on the album. But like, I hope to God it is, because if it's not, I would be very disappointed.
I can confirm that for a fact.
So we've had an exclusive there, guys. That Silence of Suffering will be on Cieran's album when it releases. When it does release, we'll do another show. I think I might do a listening party or something.
I can also confirm that the name of the album.
Oh, wait a minute.
Is also part of the lyricism within Silent Suffering.
Oh, is that a clue? So we've got to, I think it is. You might say no to me, but I think the viewers, if you start playing the song, we might pick out the album title.
The first pre-chorus
is where the album title lies.
Is where the album title is.
Oh, okay. Well, it's up to you if you want to play it or not, but I think we need to hear a wee snippet of this. It's Silent Suffering. It is on the set list, and definitely, guys, when it does drop, I'll make sure to post it. And before Cieran does play some music for us this evening, I did mention, I'm just gonna have a look at the quick comments. Someone said hello, Cieran. Hello to everyone who's watching. Liverpool's better. From going back to our football questions there. Liverpool.
Joe, my boy.
Liverpool have got a good side. Liverpool have got good players, but I wouldn't say they're better.
In what world? Liverpool are better than Man City in every way, every aspect.
I wouldn't say that, Cieran. Come on.
Here, I'd even put it at a push and say, well, that might be my opinion showing through, but I'd say Southampton are better than Man City. But
right, before you start singing, who's better, Celtic or Liverpool?
Team-wise, Liverpool. Support-wise, Celtic.
Yeah.
Team-wise, no team in the Premier League this season is going to keep up with Liverpool.
I think, to be completely honest with you, Bert, I think the album will be on all music streaming platforms, if I remember correctly.
I was going to say to Brett that it'll be on Spotify, Apple Music, everything you can think of, it'll be on. And
hopefully, fingers crossed, Cieran, your dreams will come true and it gets played on radio. Radio
1. That's it. That's the real dream.
You've exceeded when you're on like the BBC Radio 1's introducing programme every Saturday, or the top 40, and winning one of them awards. You know what I mean?
Transmit next year. You watch this space.
And obviously we mentioned Callum there. Callum, if you, for some whatever reason, you watch us on YouTube, make sure you reach out to us. If forever, let's say he is going to be watching us back. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to play it or not. It's up to you. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be. I know it's an emotional song just from the title.
I can play it right now if you want.
Oh, go on then. Let's have a listen.
I put myself up for that, didn't I?
You did, yeah. You did.
It's a joy putting four original songs on the set list. Right. Let me just double check something. He
needs to make sure he's got his guitar in tune. That's one of the main things.
That is the real main thing, because it doesn't sound nice if it's not.
Yes, definitely. Please bear with us, guys. He's not polished it up very well.
Wait. The real fucking But I swore. It's fine. We can deal with it.
We'll bleep it out. We'll use the bleep machine after.
There we go, we're in shit. Finally.
It's whenever you're ready.
Sorry for our technical difficulties there.
That's my line.
Sorry for my physical difficulties when it comes to tuning a guitar.
Well, I can't see you, so we're all good.
Everyone else can see me though.
Yeah, I can see you on my tablet. It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We are definitely in tune here. So it is called Silent Suffering. Might be this for a reason, but
I don't. Right.
My head is my almost enemy. It can't be crying for home, but in the shower, 'cause the sun drains out, and I always seem to drown. You'll get lost sometimes, but who's really there when we don't know how to talk about it? And I'm back from the brink. This is been so much to take. No, you shouldn't isolate yourself when all I'm doing is silent suffering. You say the paradise is real, but it's never what it seems to be. It's the fire anymore. It's gonna fill with darkness. It seems the longest again. No, but will they get back to where they were? In the back from the brink, this is where we say more should take. And no, you shouldn't isolate yourself when all you know is that it's suffering. Back from the brink, this is best and much to take. You shouldn't isolate yourself when all I know is silent suffering.
Wow, that song, just even listening to the lyrics, has taken me back to a childhood that I didn't really want to remember. But what an amazing song, and fingers crossed that is a song that, you know, brings your success to stardom, should we say. Hello, George. As you have probably just seen on the bottom of your screens there is some breaking news just come out of this. Yes, that is right. We've got a Christmas special on the way. Will be broadcasted on the 25th of November, and it will also be broadcasted live on Christmas Eve, and for the first time in my Facebook days, it will be live on Facebook on Christmas Day as well. Yes, we're doing a Christmas Day episode. The Christmas Day episode's not live, it's pre-recorded, but the Christmas Eve one's live. We've got 3 guests joining us on the Christmas Live episode, which is going to be good. We're going to be celebrating Christmas like never before. So yeah, talking of a lot of things, you know, silent suffering. Well done, Cieran. You know, I think that song probably, you know, made people's evenings, you know, just looking at the comments, you know, and obviously when you told,
it could help a lot of people as well, which is, as much as I'm smiling while fucking saying that, the issue is that the song resonates with a lot of people. Like,
yeah, and people's therapy sometimes, like, when people, you know, people can cope. You know, people can cope with laughter. And I think that's what you're trying to demonstrate there.
My coping mechanism is making dark jokes that I really shouldn't be making, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Not here anyway.
Not on a live anyway. Let's see.
But yeah, talking about your music again, obviously, did you have to keep a secret? Did you have to keep it a secret from mum and dad or friends and family that you were making an album?
That I was making an album has been kept a secret from a lot of people.
And how did the feedback or how did the reactions come about?
Well, I'm yet to find out reactions because really the album hasn't really been known about as a sense. Like the album's been in planning quite a bit.
Yeah,
it's been in the planning stages for about a year, and I was waiting to go. I've now got enough songs where I go, yeah, I can drop it, and then I went, no, never mind, I'm going to drop it, and this is now my mindset where I'm going to drop it at 10k followers because
you've said that to me and you've still not reached it. What's going on?
Well, at this point, well, I'm at 8.8k, so you've got 1.2k followers to go until you get at least minimum one song.
Well, let's just stop the show just for a minute, okay? Can everybody go over to my TikTok and you should be able to find Cieran in my followers list. If you can find him, let me screenshot it, follow him, screenshot it,
what I'll do,
and we will give you a follow back on TikTok.
What I'll do, no, I don't mind, you know, because I'm a guest, I can comment.
Yeah, you can comment. Let's make it easier for people. If you want to hear more of Cieran's music or you've loved what he's all about, make sure you go give him a wee quick follow.
That's both my Instagram and my both Instagram and TikTok.
And if you can pin your comment for you, Cieran.
There we go. The only thing that is my Instagram is recently made, so I've not got any. I've only got the show announcement on there at the moment. Which
I feel very privileged about. Thank you very much.
There's yet to be a few announcements coming out.
Yeah.
And they'll go on Instagram first. I'm not gonna lie. They will always go on Instagram first because there'll be photos.
I think that's easier for you, isn't it? It's easier for people to do it that way.
Yeah.
We also have some news, not just from the show's aspect. You know, I think Cieran knows what's coming here because we've spoken about this, and you told me it was a great idea, so I hope it bloody is a good idea. As of next year, as you may know, I said at the start of the show I might not bring the show back after this special. Well, that might be a bit of a white lie, because I've been really busy over the last, let's say, 2.5 years. I've been writing scripts for the Dylan Callan Show. And as of today, Saturday the 19th of April, you will expect to see me and guests back on your screens as of the 25th of January 2026. Yes, we're back for a 4-week run of episodes, which will consist of 14 episodes in a series. I cannot wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. Celebrating it hopefully in the snow, if it still that is. But yes, we're back in January. That's a very big exclusive. I wasn't meant to announce this news until about December time, but we're back in January 25th, and then we're back in the summer to do it all over again, hopefully in the good Scottish sunshine. So this is where all the viewers come in. If you want to get involved in any way with the show, all you need to do is give us a text on Messenger, on Snapchat, Instagram, and we'll be able to get you covered. That's what this man did, and look where he is now. Well, I say that. I reached out to you, I think. But we have got a lot to get through before the end of the show. One of them being, let's talk about stuff about just general things. You mentioned there before, obviously, growing up, you know, not having a Scooby of what to do in terms of music. It must have been difficult for you to decide over football or music, or did you have a rough idea? Would you apologise if anyone can't hear us at the moment? Would you apologise? Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride from this. But yeah, I also want to give an exclusive as well. There will be extra content added on it to the end of this live stream for YouTube purposes only. So if hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out and things go well. Kieran, I think, is on a break at the moment. So while he's doing that, let me give you some insight. So as people have just come in, we're back on the 25th of January 2026 with a brand new show, which is dedicated to people that need someone to speak to. And we're going to be launching something which I've been working on for the past 2 years, which I can't speak about at this moment in time. I know some friends and family know what I'm on about here, but it's been a hell of a ride, not just for me, but for others as well. If anyone has any questions you would like to ask the host or the guest with us this evening, please make sure you follow us all on socials, and make sure you put them into the comments. So if you've got any questions about music, just general life, please make sure you get in touch with us. We have also got we're going to set up a new show's Facebook page, so it's all the show stuff's all together, so it makes it easier for these broadcasts as well. Kieran, are you still there? I think he's still on his break. I did say he could go for a break if things got a little too much for him at this moment. Thank you to all the viewers tuning in around the world, wherever you're watching from. Hopefully everyone is having a very nice evening wherever you're watching. But yeah, that was Silent Suffering by Kieran, which Kieran mentioned there will be on his new album when it is released, hopefully by the end of the year. I'm not promising anything, that might just be my estimate here. But yes, there is a lot more exclusives. You know, Silent Suffering, you know, some of the lyrics there touched hearts, and many of us can probably relate to that. And if anyone has related to it, let us know. If anyone has been affected by anything that we've spoken about here in tonight's live, it will be support and services will be available to you via a link that will be put up on here and my social media platforms. People have also been sending text messages in as well. I'm just seeing them all pop through my thing. Thank you to Shannon, who sent me a private message wishing me good luck on tonight's show. I really appreciate it. It's been a hell of a lot of, you know, perseverance, hard work, sweat, blood and tears and all that to get where I am today. There will be a new show in December, bringing you all the greatest Christmas hits, and I'm working on something for 2027 already, would you believe? Yeah, I know, I'm crazy. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, not just for me, but for everyone here in the music industry, especially during that COVID era where people were struggling to even come up with different things to do, especially when everyone was in lockdown. As you can see across the screen there, Kieran has left his Instagram and other social media handles below. Make sure you give him a follow to keep updated on album news, music releases, where he's going to be gigging. I know he does some busking in the summer, especially when he's in his hometown of the capital city of Scotland, that's Edinburgh. So if he's out busking, he probably puts it on his Instagram and Snapchat stories. Please make sure you follow him for the latest music updates as well. He will be back. I don't know where he is, but I think he's now hiding from all the fame. But I could be wrong. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride for not just us, but for everyone. We have got a song coming up just in the next couple of minutes called Broken Chains. We're going to speak to Kieran about that next as well. But if anyone has any questions that you would like to ask myself, please get in touch. Davey, I did see your comment regarding Alexa and zooming out. I can't help the angles that we produce here at the show. It's my camera quality. I do apologise if it's my camera angle. I've got two cameras set up, so I think it switches from time to time, so I do apologise on that. All right, if anyone wants to join us here on the show this evening, make sure you request. I do usually go live on TikTok as well, but yeah, it's pretty decent to say the least. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone's continued support, love, and unity over the last few weeks. It has been one hell of a journey for us this evening. It's been crazy in every sense of the word. Kieran, can you hear me? Kieran? I think he's gone, guys. I think he's scared of me now. Let me have a look at the comments here. George, hello to you. Hello to Cody. Hello to Davey. Thank you, John, for that comment. Nice one. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I try and do everything as positively and greatest than I can. Kieran and myself have been mates for a very long time, and when I first wanted to launch the show back here this year, the first person that came to mind was Kieran. Kieran has a really good, talented voice. I think he's got the potential to go so many distances with his music, particularly with the album that he's set to release, hopefully in the near future, which I cannot wait to be blasting all over the place. It's just been great to hear some of his tunes, and that is the first tune that I've heard this evening. Now, we have some news to bring you this evening before we leave this afternoon, that at the end of this year, there will be a special live stream being launched by myself on Robert Burns Day, which is the 25th of January. Yes, we'll be doing the address to the haggis, eating haggis, meats and tatties, and the live is not even sponsored. What is that all about? But yeah, hopefully Kieran will be back with us soon. Kieran, can you hear me? I think he's dealing with a few things now. But how is everything today, John? Is everything all right? I might give you a phone after the live, actually, for a catch-up while I go to the shop as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. So thank you so much to everyone who tuned in this evening. A full pre-recorded version of the show will be available for YouTube purposes. And we, fingers crossed, will get things organised from there. Thank you so much for everyone watching, and make sure you have an amazing Easter weekend. From me and Kieran, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.